my name is Morgan Gard, and this is your pack preview for Day 2 of the Grace College Classic Tournament. New day and 2 new teams to the IUE schedule, Trinity Christian and St. Ambrose, and Coach Abby is here to talk about those 2 teams. So hello, Coach. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Great. It's Day 2, and you're playing 2 new teams. What do you know about them?
Well, I know Trinity Christian. It has been a successful program in the past. They have consistent 30-plus win seasons, have made it to the tournament championship. So I think they're going to be a really tough team. St. Ambrose played a really tough schedule last year, so they're both going to be really good matchups for us.
Yeah, like you mentioned, Trinity Christian did very well last year and has had over 30 wins. They actually were 38-10 last year, and they won the National Christian College Athletic Association tournament. However, they have a lot of new freshmen. Do you think you're going to see the same team that won that tournament and had the 30-plus wins, or is it going to be a little bit different?
You know, you just never know with that many freshmen on the team, but I mean, it's been a true testament to that coach with how many successful seasons they've had, so I assume that they're going to be another tough team this year.
Do you see it as a level playing field with so many freshmen and we also having a new team?
Yes and no. I don't really feel like we have that many freshmen this year just because we had 6 with us in the spring, and they did so much work to make sure that they don't feel young anymore, so I think everybody's kind of just meshed so well this year, so I don't know.
So it'd be almost having 2 experienced teams play each other.
Yeah.
Okay. That's good to hear. I mean, being almost a newer team, it could almost hurt us. But luckily, like you said, we have a little bit of experience with these 6 new girls. Or more than 6, but 6 ones that were here in the spring.
Yep.
St. Ambrose is next, though, and they're another Chicagoland Conference team. Do you see a common thread between these teams?
You know, that's a tough conference in general. Every team brings something different to the table, though, and we haven't actually seen them in the past, so these are going to be 2 interesting matchups for us today.
So St. Ambrose is next, and they're another Chicagoland team. Do you see a common thread between these conference teams?
It's a tough conference all around, but we actually haven't seen these teams yet, so it's going to be an interesting matchup regardless.
Well, good, and you actually, for new girls, and you haven't seen these 2 new teams, so you have 4 new girls on your team. However, IU East is their second school. Who are they, and how are they fitting into your program?
Our new girls?
Yes.
Who are the new girls?
The 4 new girls that are returning, so Hannah Bess, Sydney Durham, Madison Chris, and Haley Myers.
Okay, if you want to start with Sydney, Sydney is our new middle. She's the one that I think might bump Bailey out of the middle for us and put her on the outside for a different look. So Sydney is great. She's tall, she's athletic, she has the longest arms on the team. She can really reach for all those sets, all those blocks. Hannah Bess joined us in the spring, and she's a little fireball like Yoder on defense, so she kind of brings that type of energy. Madison Chris.
Yes.
Yeah. Sorry, we had them in the spring, so I don't feel like they're new to us.
Yes.
Madison Chris, she is a setter and right side for us, and she's kind of filling in at that position. You know, she's tall, so she gives us a different look, and she's left-handed, so she adds that to our team.
And Haley Myers.
Haley Myers was added to the team pretty late this year. She played with Bailey in high school, though, so we knew her a little bit from that. She just adds depth for us in the back row, so she probably will fill in that left back and middle back position.
Do you think having her and Bailey as old teammates, I shouldn't say ex-teammates, old teammates, do you think that's going to help in this season?
Absolutely. It's already helped her transition onto the team a little bit. It makes her a little bit more comfortable and has helped her catch up to speed a little bit quicker.
Okay, well, before you go, you're playing 2 new schools, and they have some of the weirdest mascots I have ever heard of. The Trinity Trolls and the St. Ambrose Queen Bees. Do you know of have you played any schools with different mascots, or do you know of any teams with different mascots? Off
the top of my head, I can't think of anything weirder than the Trolls. But yeah, I think that's the most interesting that we've seen so far.
I have to agree. That's a little different.
Yep.
Definitely, I'm going to stick with the Red Wolves. So thank you, Coach, for coming.
Thank you.
Got to get back out on the court.
Yep.
So we're glad to have you, and good luck on Day 2.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm Morgan Gard, and let's buzz this one over to our live commentators at the Grace College Classic Tournament.
Hello once again, and welcome to Indiana University East Volleyball on the Red Wolves Sports Network. I'm Caleb Gillock along with Kyle Wright This afternoon, or this morning actually, we are back in Winona Lake, Indiana at the Manahan Orthopedic Capital Center on the campus of Grace College for the 2015 Grace College Classic. Just a few minutes away from getting started for the Red Wolves' first match today. That's going to be against the Trinity Christian College Trolls. And taking a look at Trinity Christian, they went 38-10 last season, and they are the reigning NCCAA champion. Daniel Overman, a 5'10 middle hitter, is the reigning Chicagoland Collegiate Athletic Conference Newcomer of the Year. And the Trolls coach, Bill Sheppel, is the reigning NCCAA Coach of the Year. Trinity Christian roster includes 9 freshmen, and as we were talking about that earlier, they've got 9 freshmen on their roster, but they've also got about 4 on the bench right now with injuries, Kyle.
Speaking with Grace College, the host SID, that's who Trinity Christian played in the late match last night, and said they had a key player go down with an injury. And there's actually about 4 Trinity Christian players holding ice bags right now. Looking at our screen, if you're Trinity Christian, not quite seeing the bench, but we're told that one key player for sure went down with an injury last night, and it looks like they've had a few others dinged up in preseason as well.
All right, well, taking a look at Trinity Christian, they come into this morning's matchup with a record of 1-1. The first win of their season was yesterday against Point Park University, where they won 3-0 with scores of 27-25, 25-22, and 25-21. Then they turn around and lost to the host team, Grace College, 1-3 with scores of 25-23, 21-25, 21-25, and 13-25. The Red Wolves come into the matchup 0-2 after losing to the host team, Grace College, yesterday morning in 5 sets, I believe. Yes, 5 sets. Grace won the first, second, and fifth sets with scores of 25-23, 25-17, and 15-4. The Red Wolves won the third and fourth set with scores of 25-18 and 25-23. Then the Red Wolves turned around and lost to IU Kokomo in 4 with scores of 25-21, 19-25, 21-25, and 18-25 against IU Kokomo. So all ready to go here against the Trinity Christian Trolls. Kyle, what do you expect to see in this matchup after possibly getting some of the nerves out of the way yesterday?
Hopefully a calmer IU East team, which tends to translate to better footwork. We peeked at the Trinity Christian court during their matches yesterday. It seemed like they were just pounding the ball every time we looked over, so they looked like a very hard-hitting team, so that's something IU East still need to be ready to handle today. At this level, if it comes at you hard, oh well. You've got to be able to put a good pass on it, get it to the setter, and get in your own offense. So that's something IU East still will need to be able to do. And then a lot of the conversation on the bus was just really coming with positive energy. No one really thought there was any negative energy. It was almost more like a vacuum of energy, just no real energy either way. So there was a real emphasis on being sure to bring a positive energy to the court, which volleyball being such a momentum sport is such a key to have positive momentum, get things rolling in your favor. And in volleyball, with only a couple timeouts, if you can get things rolling in your favor, you can get things looking nice on the scoreboard in a hurry.
All right, well, we'll take a couple-minute break, and we'll come back with the first of 2 matches today right here on the IU East Red Wolves Sports Network.
If you want to know
I go back to J.C. Watt's definition of character that he was taught by his grandmother when he was a little boy. He said, character is doing the right thing when nobody's looking.
What the NAIA has figured out through all their character and leadership programs is let's develop these players as men and women of character, and by doing so, these players will ultimately reach their ceiling.
Dylan Newman had a terrible dislocated shoulder after a bad dirt bike accident. The long-term solution, surgery and intense rehab.
I trusted Reed Orthopedics because they had already fixed my ankle. And within 4 months of my surgery, Dr. Miller and my Reed therapist, April, helped me to regain my motion and most of my strength. Thanks to Reed Ortho, I can get back to what I love. It's all about trust. Right, Dr. Miller?
Right here at Reed.
Right here in Richmond.
This is where a busy mom can work toward a bachelor's degree from a top national university during softball practice. It's where a service member can continue his college studies from anywhere in the world, and where you'll benefit from one of the country's most effectively delivered online programs.
Woohoo!
So, if you've ever wondered if a college education is really worth it, this is where you'll see that it is. This is Indiana University East Online.
And welcome back to IU East Volleyball on the Red Wolves Sports Network. It's about time to go here inside the Manahan Orthopedic Capital Center in Winona Lake, Indiana. The 0-2 IU East Red Wolves taking on the 1-1 Trinity Christian College Trolls. Kyle, this should be, from what we've heard, a decent matchup here between these two teams.
Should be. Trinity Christian, you mentioned the NCCAA champion. For those not as familiar with that, you can be an NAIA member and an NCCAA member. In basketball terms, that'd be kind of like a college basketball team winning the NIT. Typically, your first choice is to go to the NAIA national tournament. If you don't achieve that, then if you're a Christian college, you have the option to go to the NCCAA nationals. That's what Trinity Christian did and won the thing. So really what that tells us is they were truly probably a national tournament caliber team last year. They just didn't happen to make that final 36. Again, IU East just looking to build on day one. Talked to Morgan Steinbrenner after dinner, post-game dinner, and said that obviously we prefer the wins, but it's a starting point. It's something that'll be built from and go on to what everyone's expecting to be a successful season this year.
Trinity Christian will have the first serve, and their server is number 4, Tori Mantell. And a nice attack there by Ketchum to start the game off and give the Red Wolves a 1-0 start here in the first set. IU East wearing the white uniform, Trinity Christian in the gray. Here's the serve from Sydney Durham. And this is going to go out of bounds. Another point to the Red Wolves. A 2-0 start here in the first set for IU East. Sydney Durham, a 6'1 sophomore out of Noblesville for the Red Wolves. There's the attack by the Trolls. Trying to get the ball back across to IU East. Set by Best. Steinbrenner with the attack up front, and a 3-0 start now for IU East. Here's the serve from Sydney Durham. Goes over, and this is going to be out of bounds on the service error. A point to the Trinity Christian Trolls, and it's now 3-1. Trinity Christian comes into the matchup 1-1 this season. There's a Livingston kill, and it's going to be out of bounds for a point to the Trolls. Makes the score 3-2. The 1-point advantage for IU East. And looks like they're going to end up giving the point to the Red Wolves after it is tipped out of bounds off of one of the Trinity Christian players. So a 3-point lead for IU East, 4-1. There's the serve from Abby Ketchum, back in play by the Trolls. Ketchum with the set in the back row. Here's Yoder and Bedell. And that's going to be a point to, looks like Trinity Christian off of 2 hits.
You mentioned Ketchum's name. Led IU East in digs and assists yesterday. That's a very unusual double for one of your setters to also be one of your leaders in digs. So that means she was covering a lot of court and doing a nice job yesterday.
Steinbrenner up front. Ketchum with the set, and Livingston with the kill. And that puts the Red Wolves up by 3, 5-2 in the first set. Mallory Livingston, the lone senior on the IU East roster, goes back to serve for the Red Wolves. Here's the serve from Livingston. Comes over to Kirkmary, and set by Ketchum. Gates gets it across for IU East. And Trolls unable to return it, so it'll be a point to the Red Wolves, giving them a 4-point advantage, 6-2. Now here's the serve from Mallory Livingston. Goes over to Kirkmary once again, and picked up by Madison. Yoder goes up, almost hits the ceiling. Gates with the dig. Bedell gets it across for the Red Wolves. And blocked up front, looked like between Bedell and Steinbrenner, and it's now 7-2. Mallory Livingston still serving for the Red Wolves. Livingston out of Union City, Ohio, went to Mississauga Valley High School. Set by Ketchum. Here's Bedell with the attack, and she'll get a kill out of that one. Now 8-2, a 6-point lead for IU East. Kyle, I think this is the start we needed this morning.
Yeah, definitely need to get off to a good start. Now, they had some starts like this yesterday. Was up, seems like, in every set against Grace except the 5th set, and kind of had some early leads get away. So, ideally, you want to consolidate, at the very least, maintain maybe a 5-point lead. In a perfect world, maybe really break it out to maybe even a 10-point lead. Really stretch it out. That'd be kind of the next step. But definitely an encouraging start for the Red Wolves.
Ball stayed in bounds for the Trolls, giving them a point. 8-3 here in the first set. And going back to serve is Maggie Tolsma. Tolsma out of Rockford, Michigan, a 5'6" defensive specialist freshman for the Trolls. The attack by Livingston goes into the net, and it'll be a point to Trinity Christian, making a 4-point set, 8-4. Here's the serve once again from Tolsma. Gates with the kill, and that makes it 9-4. Steinbrenner comes out, and looks like Sydney Durham back into the front row for IU East. Madison Yoder back to serve for the Red Wolves. Yoder, one of 4 sophomores on the IU East roster. Here's the set by Ketchum. Trinity Christian trying to get it back across. Set by Yoder. Here's Bedell with the attack. Picked up by Tolsma. And this one's going to go out of bounds. Running out of real estate over there as both Bedell and Ketchum were headed toward the stage over there on the left side of the floor. And it's going to be a point to Trinity Christian, 9-5. Here's the serve from Trinity Christian. Good effort up front by Sydney Durham. And a point to IU East after Trinity Christian unable to get the ball back across. The server that time was Kaylee DeJong, and she's out of Lansing, Illinois. A 5'8" outside hitter. Here's the serve from Bella Pavey, though, for the Red Wolves. Set up front, and the block up front by Durham is going to make it 11-5. Pavey, a 5'3" freshman from Union County High School. Almost a little miscommunication there between DeJong and one of her teammates. 11-6 after the point goes to the Trolls. Here's Gates with the attack, picked up by Trinity Christian's number 14, Kaylee DeJong. And the point goes to the Red Wolves. Now a 6-point lead for IU East, 12-6. Bailey Gates going back to serve for IU East. And here's the serve from Bailey Gates. Goes over and is picked up by Tolsma. And that goes off the antenna. It'll be a point to the Red Wolves, 13-6 off of the antenna violation. Don't forget, IU East will play St. Ambrose later this afternoon at about 1:30. And right now, Grace College leads St. Ambrose 10-5. And there's a timeout over here on this side of the floor, so we'll take a quick timeout as well. Be right back with more IU East volleyball right here on the IU East Red Wolves Sports Network.
My husband Larry came to Reed because he was in respiratory distress, and he came in through the emergency room and almost dying. The ethic of camaraderie and teamwork and customer service was extraordinary. After a few weeks of care with the fantastic staff in the medical, the CCU, the rehab departments, everywhere, he came home to me in one piece and ready to start the next stage of his life. We absolutely believe that Reed Hospital and the people here saved his life.
And welcome back to IU East Volleyball on the Red Wolves Sports Network. A 13-6 lead in the first set for IU East. Here's the serve from Bailey Gates. Serve across to Tolsma. And it's going to be off the net, a point to the Red Wolves. 14-6, an 8-point advantage here in the first set for IU East. The serve for Bailey Gates. It's going to be a service error, a point to Trinity Christian, 14-7. We're waiting on the serve from the Trolls. Their server right now is Tori Mantell, a 5'8 junior out of Gainesville, Florida for Trinity Christian. The attack by Mallory Livingston. Durham answers back for IU East. Durham once again. Trolls able to keep the ball alive. And a little miscommunication there after it goes off the hands of Rachel Verhage, and it's going to be a point to the Red Wolves. Sydney Durham will go back to serve. 15-7. And it's going to go out of bounds off of Sydney Durham. It'll be 15-8. Still a 7-point advantage for the Red Wolves after we're just past halfway here in the first set. Trinity Christian will now serve here in the first set. The serve from Carly Kirchmurray. Blocked up front by Steinbrenner, but it's going to be a point to Trinity Christian after they call it for being in the net. 15-9. Lead narrowed down to 6, but Red Wolves still have a little bit of comfort here in the first set. Goes into the back row to Hannah Best and Mallory Livingston. Steinbrenner will hit it out of bounds cross court, and a point to the Trolls, 15-10. Here's the serve from Kirchmurray. And nice attack by Mallory Livingston, set by Kirchmurray that time for the Trolls. It'll be 2 hits and a point to the Red Wolves, 16-10. Abby Ketchum going back to serve, a 5'10 freshman out of Indianapolis for IU East. This one will go out of bounds off of Trinity Christian on their own side of the floor, 17-10.
Good to see it, Ace. Looking at, finally got yesterday's stats in front of us. Turned out the key things against Kokomo was missed serves by IU East and blocks, and then against Grace it was serve return and then missed serves by IU East. So the common thread in both was a lot of missed serves compared to the opponent. So it'd be good to see if the ace/service error category is more in favor of the Red Wolves today.
Still a 6-point lead for the Red Wolves after a point awarded to the Trolls. 17-11. Now here is the serve from Marie Sonnenberg. And that'll be a point to IU East after the Trolls unable to return the ball. Mallory Livingston going back to serve once more for IU East. 18-11 here in the first set. Grace leads 17-9 over St. Ambrose on court number 1. Ketchum with the dig. Yoder with it that time. Bedell gets it across for IU East. Goes over into the Red Wolves back row with Yoder having the dig. Steinbrenner with the attack for IU East that time. Trolls able to keep it alive. Goes out of bounds on a point to IU East. Makes it 19-11. And the official scoreboard here has 18-12.
Called the touch on the IU East block. The line judge watching the ball called the ball out, and then the line judge on the opposite side called the touch. So teamwork, which is, as I understand, that's how it's supposed to be done. Right. So good, even though it went against IU East, good teamwork by the book by the line judges.
Now a point to IU East, makes it 19-12, up by 7. Here's Yoder with the serve for the Red Wolves. Pitch across to Madison Yoder with the dig. Ketchum with the set. And Durham with the attack for the Red Wolves. Back over into the back row to Madison Yoder. Ketchum to Gates. And Gates with the attack for IU East. And it's going to be blocked up front. A call here. Looks like it's going to be IU East in the net. A point to Trinity Christian, 19-13. Back to serve once again is Kelly DeJong out of Lansing, Illinois. 5'8" sophomore outside hitter. And that'll be out of bounds. A point to the Red Wolves, 20-13. Bella Pavey back to serve for IU East. Here's her serve, goes over to Talsma. And looks like Pavey unable to get to that one. And it'll be a point to the Trolls, 20-14. Waiting on the serve. And it's going to be out of bounds off of Abby Ketchum. Goes out of bounds over on the left side of the floor. Makes it a 5-point game, 20-15. Here's the serve. Goes over to Madison Yoder in the back row with the dig. Set by Pavey. And Gates with the kill. Makes it 21-15 here in the first set. 6-point lead for IU East. Bailey Gates will now go back to serve for the Red Wolves. And here is her serve. Set by Pavey. Yoder with the dig. Here's Livingston with the kill. It's going to go out of bounds, so a point to the Red Wolves. And that'll make it 22-15. And that's going to be a timeout taken by Trinity Christian after they now trail by 7. IU East has the 22-15 lead here in the first set. A timeout down on the floor. We'll take one as well. We'll be right back with more IU East volleyball right here on the Red Wolves Sports Network. Hello, I'm Caleb Gillock, the host of Inside IU East Sports, a show where we talk with coaches, players, and other guests about what's happening with IU East athletics.
In the top 100 high school seniors.
Last year we were fortunate enough to do a variety of things on the track and then off to be able to be considered.
Make sure to join us on Friday nights at 8:30 p.m. on WETV Channel 20. And welcome back to IU East Volleyball on the Red Wolves Sports Network. A 7-point advantage for the IU East Red Wolves here in the first set, 22-15 over to the Trinity Christian College Trolls. Bailey Gates back to serve. Gets a little bit of a running start, and here's the serve. Serve goes long, so a service error against IU East, 22-16 now. Still a 6-point advantage for the Red Wolves. Trinity Christian will now serve. Here's the serve for number 4, Tori Mantle. And that's going to be a point to IU East, 23-16. Back up to a 7-point lead for IU East and almost to set point. Here's the serve. Steinbrenner able to block up front that time for IU East. Durham with the dig, set by Pavey. Here's Ketchum, gets it across for the Red Wolves. And Pavey diving for it, but unable to get the ball back across, 23-17. Still up by 6. Here's the serve from Kirchmurray. And it's going to be out of bounds, bringing up set point for the Red Wolves. Serving the set point will be the 5'10 freshman wearing number 14, Abby Ketchum. The serve goes over to Kirchmurray. And that'll be out of bounds off of the Red Wolves, makes it 24-18. Six-point game here in the first set. Here's the serve from number 17, Marie Sonnenberg. And Bedell with the kill. And that'll bring the first set to the close. 25-18, Red Wolves take a 7-point win here in the first set. Kyle, tell us a little bit about what we've seen.
I spent most of that set looking at yesterday's box scores, trying to figure out exactly who Trinity's missing. This isn't like the NFL where they give us an injury report before the game, and goes without saying the coaches don't go up to the visiting broadcast team and tell them who they're going to be missing. But without going into too much speculation, there's definitely one person from their preseason returning leaders list who's not out there, and then there's one person who is one of their top attackers yesterday who we haven't seen yet. And along those lines, I see one person who's taller than me on crutches and one person that's taller than me with an arm in a sling. So my amateur detective work tells me that's probably those two people, and that's probably affecting Trinity. They got to a very slow start, a lot of mistakes out of sync a little bit, which is natural because that means they've got new people playing new spots all over the place. So IU East, to their credit, was able to take advantage of that. If you're IU East, you can't assume that most of Trinity's mistakes came early in the set. It was actually pretty even after Trinity got those out of your system. So if you're IU East, assume that Trinity's going to get better as this match goes along as they get used to their current personnel situation. IU East, you got to keep the mistakes to a minimum, and also the attack. I think I'll be interested to see the hitting percentage. I think it was probably better than what it was yesterday, where I don't think it was very often over 150. I think it was better than that in that set, so hopefully IU East can keep it in that territory in the remainder of this match.
All right, well, the Red Wolves jump out with the 1-0 lead after winning the first set 25-18 over Trinity Christian College. We'll take a break and be right back with more IU East volleyball right here on the Red Wolves Sports Network. A 1-0 lead in the match for the IU East Red Wolves after winning the first set over the Trinity Christian College Trolls, 25-18, and that gives the Red Wolves the 1-0 lead. Out on the floor to start the second set for IU East right now is Bailey Gates, Morgan Steinbrenner, Bella Pavey, Abby Ketchum, Mallory Livingston, and Cindy Durham, but the libero Madison Yoder waiting to come into the game as the officials are getting the correct rotation and everything set out on the floor between the two teams. Kyle, what do you expect to see here in the second set?
Well, if you're IU East, hopefully more of the same. I guess in the back of your mind, I think that was the exact same score of the first set against IU Kokomo yesterday, and then the rest of that match didn't go so well. Again, to me, the difference in that first set, Trinity Christian, the mistakes they made were very, very, very early in the set. They played pretty much even from there on. So if you're IU East, you just can't count on getting that many free points. You got to have the mindset that you need to earn as many of these 25 points as possible here in the second set.
All right, looks like we're ready to go here with set number 2 at the Grace College Classic. Serve from Bailey Gates goes over to the Trinity Christian side of the net, and this one's going to be unreturnable by the Red Wolves and give Trinity Christian the 1-0 lead to start the second set. Gates comes out, and looks like Durham or Pavey back into the game for the Red Wolves. The serve goes over to Madison Yoder with the dig, set by Pavey. Here's Ketchum, blocked up front. Red Wolves able to keep control. Livingston with the attack, kept alive by the Trolls libero. And a point to the Red Wolves off of 2 hits. All tied up now, 1-1. Sydney Durham back to serve for IU East now. Waiting the 1-1 serve. Goes over to the back row, picked up by the libero. And waiting to see what the call is.
Well, at first he touched that, then he put up 4 fingers. There's no way it was 4 hits. We'll take it. We'll just leave it at that.
2-1 lead for IU East now. And dig up in the front row on the Trinity Christian side. And it'll be a point to IU East, making it, should be 3-1 now, correct?
Agreed.
So a 3-1 lead for IU East. And it looks like they are discussing the score. The official scoreboard has 2-2.
I don't think he's arguing the score because it's the Trinity coach doing the discussing, and 2-2 would be in his favor. I think he's disputing the call itself, as now we're getting the official board tweaked.
Over on the Trinity Christian side, ball takes a hit on the floor in front of Hannah Best, and a point to the Red Wolves, 4-1 on our scoreboard, 4-2 on the official scoreboard. Served by Sydney Durham. This one's going to go almost back to the bleachers. Picked up by Sydney Durham now on the IU side of the floor. Here's Livingston with the kill, and it's a point to the Red Wolves. We'll go 5-2 on the official scoreboard.
And we'll switch ours to match it. We'll see what happens there. Mallory off to a nice start this morning. I know she wasn't thrilled with by her standards, her performance, particularly in the second match yesterday, and definitely a very efficient performance so far this morning for her.
In the back row to Hannah Best. Pavey gets it across for the Red Wolves. Here's the set and the attack from Trinity Christian. Here's Mallory Livingston's going to be blocked up front, but a point to the Trolls off of 2 hits, and that makes it 5-3.
And an epidemic of the double hit calls so far. When they are called, they tend to come in bunches, so the setters on both teams have to really be focused on good, proper form, because the officials are looking to call that this morning, which as long as they're consistent, it's fine. But from what I've noticed over the years, when they get called in bunches. So setters all around, be wary this morning.
Trinity Christian with the service here gives a point to the Red Wolves. Now a 3-point lead. Abby Ketchum serves for IU East. And blocked up front by Steinbrenner and Livingston. And that makes it 7-3. So a 4-point lead now for IU East. Here's the serve from Ketchum into the back row to Kirchmurray. And cross court down to bounds. Point to IU East. A 5-point lead now in the first set. Here's the attack picked up by Ketchum. Here's Bedell. This one goes back and out of bounds off of the Trinity Christian players, and it's 9-3. So a 6-point lead for the Red Wolves. Abby Ketchum continuing to serve for IU East. Blocked up front by Steinbrenner, goes out of bounds. You can tell by the look on her face that she's a little aggravated with herself on that one, but
had perfect position. Just I think actually a hand got caught in the net, I believe, and then of course the ball went out. But she was right there to make the play.
9-4. Here's the serve from Sonnenberg. Bedell with the attack, and the Trolls fighting to keep it alive. Picked up by Missy Bedell. Set by Ketchum. Here's Steinbrenner. It's going to be out of bounds. A point to Trinity Christian, 9-5. So a 4-point lead for the Red Wolves. Here in the second set. 1-0 lead in the match belongs to IU East. Here's Livingston with the attack. Picked up by the Trolls front row. Blocked up front by Bedell that time. Here's the attack. Steinbrenner with the block, keeping the ball alive. Here's Yoder getting it across for the Red Wolves. And this will be out of bounds. Point to the Red Wolves, 10-5. So a 5-point lead for IU East here in the second set, and they lead the match 1-0. Livingston with the dig, set by Ketchum. Here's Bedell, trying to find some space there in the middle of the floor for the kill, but not enough room. Set by Ketchum once again. There is Steinbrenner with the kill for the Red Wolves, giving them a 6-point advantage, 11-5.
Third time the charm for Morgan there. The last 2 touches had resulted in some kind of mistake. Kept swinging, paid off with the kill there.
Serve over to the Trolls. Set by Ketchum. Here's Steinbrenner once more. Picked up by Mantel. And this one going out of bounds off the hands of the Red Wolves players. Makes it 11-6. Here's the serve from, looks like number 3, that's Maggie Tolsma. And getting the ball back across. Here's the set by Ketchum. Steinbrenner gets it across for the Red Wolves that time. It'll be out of bounds off of the Trolls, 12-6. Right now over on court number 1, St. Ambrose leads Grace 10-8. And that's going to be into the net, a point to the Red Wolves, 13-6. Cal, I never did see, but I'm assuming Grace won the
Grace
first
did
set
win the first set, yeah, about the same score as IU East. At one point, I think it was 24-18 on both courts, and they did wrap up that first set.
Service error on the Red Wolves that time gives a point to the Trolls, 13-7. Anderson Yoder, the dig to catch him. Over on the Trinity Christian side of the floor. I need to keep it alive. Have to get it across right here, and it's going to be into the net. A point to IU East, 14-7. So a 7-point lead as Bella Pavey goes back to serve for IU East. Here's the serve. This one's going to be tipped out of bounds off of the Red Wolves, and a point to the Trolls, 14-8. The serve from the 5'6" junior libero for the Trolls. And that's going to be a point to the Trolls after it's out of bounds off of IU East. 14-9. Waiting on the serve from the Trolls. And here it is. Goes across over to Madison Yoder. Bella Pavey gets it across for the Red Wolves that time. And this is going to be...
Bella's technically in the back row, so she was in front of that line there. I don't remember anyway, she's not allowed to jump and attack from there, so automatic point for Trinity.
14-10, a 4-point lead for IU East. Over into the back row. And that'll be a point to the Red Wolves, 15-10. Waiting on the IU East serve from Bailey Gates. The service error, a point to Trinity Christian, 15-11. After the serve goes long for Gates. Out on the floor right now for the Red Wolves, Livingston, Yoder, Best, Durham, Ketchum, and Pavey. Now Livingston gets it across and set by Pavey. Be a point to the Red Wolves after the Trolls unable to return it, 16-11. Sydney Durham back to serve for IU East now. Here's the serve, goes over into the Troll back row. And falls right in front of Sydney Durham. It'll be a point to the Trolls, 16-12. Now we're to the point where we're alternating points a little bit here in the second set.
It is. Trinity's kind of closed the gap a little bit, so if you're IU East, again, if it was that easy, they just say, get some points. But I really want to airtight, no silly errors, keep it in play. In this case, in serve receive, make sure you can get a good swing on it like Morgan did there.
Set by Pavey. There's Steinbrunner. Troll attack blocked up in the front row by Livingston. This goes out of bounds off the hands of Madison Yoder. 16-13. Back to serve for the Trolls is Carly Kirchmurray.
That towel just came flying out of nowhere. At first I thought it may have actually come from court one, but it was intended for the IU East Trinity court.
And here's the serve from Kirchmurray. Set by Pavey. Livingston with the attack. Picked up by the Troll libero. Yoder with the dig. Here's Ketchum. Set by Pavey. Yoder with the dig. Livingston with the attack once more for IU East. Pavey with the dig once again. Also Yoder. Livingston trying it for a third time. This is going to be blocked out of bounds off of the Trolls. So it'll be a point in favor of IU East, 17-13, as Missy Bedell comes back into the game for IU East.
3 nice swings by Mallory. Trinity did get 2 of them back, but IU East was in control of the point the whole way. Trinity couldn't get a swing on it. So good to see Mallory starting to really fire away on the front row.
Another point to IU East. After getting into the net a little bit, 18-13. Abby Ketchum serving for IU East. Here's the serve from her. Goes over into the back row to Kirchmurray. And a little bit of almost a bad collision there for the Red Wolves, but able to keep the ball alive, and a point for IU East after some more interference with the net, 19-13. And there's going to be a timeout down there on the floor. So a 6-point lead for the Red Wolves in the second set. And they also have the 1-0 lead in the match. We'll take a quick timeout as well and be right back with more Indiana University East volleyball right here on the Red Wolves Sports Network.
This is where a busy mom can work toward a bachelor's degree from a top national university during softball practice. It's where a service member can continue his college studies from anywhere in the world, and where you'll benefit from one of the country's most effectively delivered online programs.
Woohoo!
So, if you've ever wondered if a college education is really worth it, this is where you'll see that it is. This is Indiana University East Online.
And welcome back to IU East Volleyball on the Red Wolves Sports Network. A 6-point advantage for the IU East Red Wolves here in the second set. They lead 19-13 over Trinity Christian College. Have possession of the ball coming out of the timeout and also lead the match 1-0. Blocked up front by Steinbrenner, and that's going to make it 20-13, 5 points away from ending the set. Here's the serve from Ketchum. Over into the Trinity Christian front row. Set by Ketchum, and here is Bedell. Goes over into the Trinity Christian back row. And Bedell once more. That's going to be inbounds for the kill. 21-13. Now leading by 8 here in the second set.
Really like the way Bedell plays. Again, I'm more of a tennis person, but the way she plays volleyball is the way I play tennis, in the sense that hardly ever makes unforced error, really good placement, and yet enough power to cause the other team some trouble as well. Just really like the way she plays on the right side.
The point to Trinity Christian. Say the Red Wolves unable to return it that time. Still a 7-point advantage for IU East. 21-14. And there's the dig by Yoder. And it'll be out of bounds off of, looks like number 17, Marie Sonnenberg, the 6-foot middle hitter for the Trolls. And that makes the score 22-14. And the Red Wolves will now serve, try to end the second set here. Here is the serve from Mallory Livingston. And nice kill up front by Steinbrenner. And it makes it 2 points away from ending the set, 23-14 here in the second. Here's the serve from Livingston. Set by Ketchum. Yoder with the dig. Here's Bedell. And that's going to be called out of bounds over there on the sideline. And it's 23-15. I'll agree with that call there.
Just barely out. Just barely out. It was one of those, if you were sitting on the stage, it might have looked in just because of the angle. The ball would have been kind of blocking the line, but from this side, I think it was a couple inches from the IU East perspective on the wrong side of the line.
And that'll be a service error point to the Red Wolves, 24-15. And that brings up set point opportunity for the Red Wolves. Madison Yoder back to serve for IU East. Here's the serve. Over to the Troll libero set, and the attack blocked by Durham. There's another attack picked up by Yoder. Set by Ketchum. Here's Bailey Gates. It's going to be out of bounds. And a point to the Trolls, 24-16. Kinley DeJong back to serve once more for the Trolls. Set by Ketchum. Here's Bailey Gates with the kill. And that's going to bring set number 2 to a close and give the Red Wolves a 2-0 advantage after winning the second set 25-16. Kyle, tell us a little about the second set.
Well, you hate to be too biased by the scoreboard. You don't want to get in a situation where you say, well, we won, therefore we were great, or we lost, therefore we were terrible. But the second half of that set in particular I thought was the cleanest we've seen out of IU East in the, 5 plus 4 plus 11 real sets we've seen this year. Just hardly any mistakes. The mistakes that were made were... like that next to last point, Bailey really went for it. It went a couple inches out, and then she came back and put it away on the next point. So I think just a lot of good by IU East. They really went and took that set. I think they got the lead early on. Trinity had a little unsteady period early in the set. That's what staked IU East to the lead. But then I really think IU East helped itself close itself out. It wasn't a case where they had to rely on the other team to help them out.
All right, well, a 2-0 lead for the IU East Red Wolves after winning the first set 25-18 and the second set 25-16. We'll come back with the third set of IU East volleyball right here on the Red Wolves Sports Network.
I go back to J.C. Watt's definition of character that he was taught by his grandmother when he was a little boy. He said, character is doing the right thing when nobody's looking.
And welcome back to IU East Volleyball on the Red Wolves Sports Network. IU East has the 2-0 lead in the match after winning the first set 25-18 and the second set 25-16. Going into the third set here against the Trinity Christian College Trolls. We came into the matchup 1-1. IU East comes into the matchup 0-2. Also over on court number 2, Grace College now leads that match 2-0 after winning 25-22, and they just switched the names on it, so now I'm really confused, but I do believe it was Grace.
Grace did win. I think they're switching the sides on the scoreboard to match what side the teams of the court are on, which actually isn't a bad idea.
No.
That helps out the scorekeepers, I'm sure. But Grace is up 2-0. If you go by the whole the enemy of my enemy is my friend type of logic, the better Grace looks, the better it is for IU East, because IU East took them to 5 sets in the first match yesterday. So far, the only team to do so. Obviously, we would have preferred to win the match, but the better Grace does, the better that performance looks.
And that's going to go out of bounds off of IU East. So it'll be a point to Trinity to start the third set. 1-0 lead. Back to serve is Tori Mantle, the 5'8" junior setter out of Gainesville, Florida for Trinity Christian. Ketchum gets blocked up front, but it'll be out of bounds and make it 1-1. Sydney Durham back to serve once more for IU East. First time serving here in the third set. Blocked up front, kept alive by Pavey. And here is Livingston with the kill. This one's going to be out of bounds. A point to Trinity Christian, and they will have the 2-1 lead. So waiting on the Trinity Christian serve from Kirchmurray. And it'll be a service error, a point to the Red Wolves. Bedell back into the game for IU East as Ketchum goes back to serve. And off the hands there of Kirchmurray. Point to IU East makes it 3-2. Ketchum back to serve once again for IU East. Here's the serve, goes across to Kirchmurray. Picked up by Mansell, and Red Wolves now have it on their side of the floor. Yoder gets it across for IU East. That'll be off the hands of Hannah Best. Here is Mallory Livingston. It goes off the foot of the line judge, and she's going to call it inbounds, point to the Red Wolves.
They're calling the touch. That's one part of the rule book I haven't read. The line judge is standing out of bounds, and it hit the line judge in the air, so I had just assumed it would be point, Trinity. It was moot because it went off the Trinity hands, but some reading for us on the way home to see exactly what the rule is on if it hits the line judge in the air. I would assume it would be considered out because the line judge should be standing out, but I can't say I've specifically read that section of the rule book.
And sliding past the ball that time, Kirchmurray, and it'll give the Red Wolves a 4-point lead. As Abby Ketchum still back to serve for IU East. Ketchum with the dig. Yoder sets it, and here's Livingston. It's going to be a point to Trinity Christian this time, and now a 3-point lead for IU East. Coming back into the game for Trinity Christian is Krista Veenstra, a 5'8 freshman, plays opposite side and middle hitter for the Trolls. This is a point to IU East after the ball goes out of bounds, 7-3. Mallory Livingston will serve for IU East. Here's her serve, goes over into the back row. It'll be out of bounds, and that will make it 7-4. Maggie Tolsma back to serve once again for the Trolls. 5'6 freshman out of Rockford, Michigan. Yoder with the dig in the back row, set by Ketchum. Steinbrenner gets it across the net that time for the Red Wolves. Here's Yoder with the dig once again, set by Ketchum. Bailey Gates is going to try it this time, and it'll be a point to IU East, 9-4. Here's the serve from Madison Yoder. And blocked up front by Sydney Durham. And the official scoreboard has 9-4.
I agree. So
well, maybe I spoke too fast.
We can bet a Coke for lunch on this one. But I think I'm in concurrence with the official board on this one.
Here's the serve from Yoder. Set by Ketchum. And back over to Madison Yoder once again, set by Ketchum. Here's Bedell. And she will get the kill on that one, 10-4. 6-point advantage for IU East. Madison Yoder, the sophomore, back to serve for IU East, who went to Ben Davis High School. Set by Ketchum. Here's Gates once again and runs out of space, hits the net, and a point to Trinity Christian, 10-5. Gates is going to be called for the antenna violation after the ball hits at that time. It'll be 10-6 now. And looks like Tori Mantle back to serve once more for the Trolls. It's actually DeJong back to serve. 10-7. They've narrowed the lead down to 3 for IU East. And this one goes way up in the air, chasing after. It'll be out of bounds, a point to IU East. And it should be 11-7 after the ball goes into the bleachers. Bellapavy back to serve for IU East. And it's going to be a service error, point to Trinity Christian, 11-8. Marie Sonnenberg comes back in for the Trolls. That's going to be an ace for the Trolls, 11-9. What was up to a 6-point advantage is now down to 2. And it goes out of bounds off the hands of Kaylee DeJong. And a point to the Red Wolves, making it 12-9 here in the third set.
And this is where you mentioned Trinity's on a bit of a run. Getting that positive energy is important. I wouldn't say there was negative energy out there, but a couple errors in a row, do something to pick up the people that maybe had the errors or were in the wrong position. Make sure that 2 lost points doesn't turn into 4 or 5. That's the type of thing that was spoken about on the bus. It hadn't really been a factor because IU East has controlled so much of this, but facing a little bit of adversity now, make sure that everyone's being picked up out there on the court.
Trinity Christian gets it back over to Sydney Durham. Bella Pavey gets into the net a little bit, trying to return it. And now we give it back to the Trolls. 13-10. Hannah Best comes back into the game for IU East. And also back into the game is Melanie Belstra for Trinity Christian. There's the serve from Mantle. And a kill there by Abby Ketchum. Makes it 14-10. So a 4-point lead for IU East as Sydney Durham goes back to serve. Here's the serve. This one goes across to the Trolls libero. And Red Wolves can't get it back across. It'll be a point to the Trolls, 14-11. Gets over to Mallory Livingston. And killed by Steinbrenner. Gives the Red Wolves back a 4-point lead, 15-11. Missy Bedell comes back in for Bella Pavey. Ketchum back to serve for the Red Wolves. Serve goes across. Set by the Trolls, blocked up front by Bedell. Red Wolves keep it alive. Livingston has to get it back across for IU East, but they're going to be called for 2 hits. And it's now 15-12. Here's the serve from Trinity Christian. Their server is Marie Sonnenberg, 6-foot freshman from New Berlin, Wisconsin, and a point to IU East, 16-12.
The setters making some good choices the last several plays, both Bella and Abby. IU East has had basically some free swings in the last sequence, and good choices by the setters setting those up.
Set by Yoder. Here's Bedell. Into the back row to Mantle. And a point to the Red Wolves, 17-12. And they're actually going to first give it to Trinity Christian, 16-13, a 3-point lead for IU East. So you serve from Tolsma. And blocked up front by the Trolls, 16-14. Here's the serve from Tolsma into the back row to Livingston, set by Ketchum. Here's Bailey Gates with the kill, and that makes it 17-14, up by 3. Here's the serve from Madison Yoder. Bounces across the net, picked up by the Troll front row. Nice attack by DeJong. And it results in a point to Trinity Christian, 17-15. The serve over to the Red Wolves. Gates with the dig, Yoder with the one as well. Set by Ketchum. Now here's Missy Bedell. That's going to be inbounds for a kill. And a 3-point advantage now for IU East, 18-15 in the third set. A 3-point lead for IU East as Bella Pavey back to serve, the freshman out of Union County High School. Here's the serve. This one goes across to Tolsma. Into the back row to Livingston with the dig, set by Pavey. Here's Ketchum. She's going to get a kill for IU East, and it's now 19-15, up by 4.
Big swings by Bailey, big swings by Abby, and a big swing by Missy on the last 3 IU East points. IU East, as we mentioned, won those points. Trinity making a run, the closest thing to adversity IU East has had today, and at least at this juncture, the Red Wolves have had the answers.
It's going to be a point to Trinity Christian, 19-16. Here's the waiting on the serve from Trinity Christian. Over to the back row to Yoder. Ketchum with another big kill for the Red Wolves. Puts Red Wolves up 20-16. And Bailey Gates will now serve for IU East. Going to clean a little bit of the sweat up off of the floor. Both teams playing hard here in this matchup. And that's one thing I definitely will give Trinity Christian credit for. Even though they were down 2-0 coming into the set, they haven't backed down at all.
Yeah, they've made this the closest, most competitive set so far. So, again, if they are missing some people, I'm sure they're starting to get more comfortable, and definitely no sign of give up on the Troll side of the net.
Blocked up front by Mallory Livingston, and that makes it a 5-point lead for IU East, 21-16 here in the third set. Now the 5'10 sophomore from Winchester will go back to serve once more for IU East. Here's the serve. Picked up by Tolsma. And Gates unable to get a hand on the ball that time, 21-17. Again, just want to remind you the Red Wolves' next match will be at 1:30 against St. Ambrose University. Trails Grace College right now 16-9 in the third set. And Grace also leads the match 2-0.
And if these results hold up, I wouldn't be surprised if that match starts early. St. Ambrose probably wants to get on the road back to Iowa, and I'm sure we'll be fine with getting home at a decent hour as well. So we'll keep you posted, Twitter, IUE Red Wolves, and just don't be surprised if that one starts a little early if these current scores hold up.
21-18, and Trinity Christian will have possession of the ball. Service error for the Trolls gives a point to IU East, 22-18. Here's the serve from Sydney Durham. And it's going to be a service error on the Red Wolves. 22-19. Here's the serve over to the back row to Hannah Best. Here is Tori Snyder, seeing her first appearance this weekend. Her attack went out of bounds. A point to the Trolls, 22-20. Set by Best. Here's Mallory Livingston. Picked up by the Trolls. They're going to have an attack. Goes out of bounds off of Madison Yoder. And she puts one in the bleachers. We've not seen Mallory put one in the bleachers yet.
She's got time. She's got hopefully 3 more swings at it.
1 point advantage for IU East. Here's the serve. Goes over into the back row, set by Pavey. That gets it across the floor, and that one's going to fall. 23-21 in favor of IU East.
Clutch play by Pavey there. She's had several those setter dumps in this match. Only a couple I remember yesterday. So if she's able to add that little element of surprise, I have no doubt she did that on a regular basis at Union County, where she basically rewrote the setting record book there. And if she can add that or make that a regular threat, that'll make life that much easier for the other IU East attackers.
Abby Ketchum will serve for IU East. Here's the serve. Goes over to Kirchmurray. Up in the air off the hands of Hannah Best. Yoder gets it back over to Bedell. Blocked up front by Livingston. Ketchum with the set. Here is Bedell. This one's going to go off the hands of Kirchmurray once more. This one will be out of bounds. A point to IU East. And that'll bring up match point for IU East.
Big point there. A couple nice saves by the defense. And goes without saying, 24-21, while still close, just considerably less stressful, less pressure than 23-22. Hopefully that's enough of a cushion for the Red Wolves to close this out.
Ball in play, and it's going to be an intent violation off of Trinity Christian. And that brings the match to a close. 25-21 here in the third set, and the Red Wolves pick up their first win of the season, 3-0. Kyle, tell us a little bit about this matchup.
Well, if you're Red Wolves, first you'd probably breathing a sigh of relief. As we said on the way up here, there's 6 really good teams here, and there's a chance that a really good team is going to go home with a 0-4 record. And if you go 0-2 on the first day, which I always did, you just don't want it to be you. So a bit of a sigh of relief that you're going to go home with at least 1 win under your belt, hopefully 2 after the second match later this afternoon. And to me, the stretch I was happiest about. I always jumped out to a nice lead in this third set, and Trinity got it within 2 on several occasions. And I think there was a stretch of 5 straight side outs, and all 5 of those side outs, IU East ran good offense and got a kill to keep the 3-point lead, as opposed to let Trinity Christian get to within 1. And it wasn't a case of relying on a mistake from Trinity. It was something where IU East went out and did something right to keep that lead. So, and then was able to push it out to a 4-point lead at the end of the third game. So a lot of positives. Obviously, the win of itself, which I think will probably relax everyone, knowing, hey, you're not going to be the team that goes home 0-4, and also some really good play, particularly at that key stretch in the middle of the third set.
All right, well, a 3-0 win for the Red Wolves over Trinity Christian College. Do you want to wait and do the post-game interview?
I say Coach Niekamp just finished chatting with the team. Tell you what, if she looks our way, we'll wave her up here, and if she doesn't look our way, we won't yell. How's that sound for?
That'll work. Looks like she's talking to Peyton Perkins right now. We made it up here last night, didn't make it up here on the bus with us yesterday, but still waiting to hear what's going on with her knee. Hopefully we can get her and Madison Christ both back
That's
soon.
One thing. We talked about injuries that it appears that Trinity was dealing with. We haven't mentioned once that IU East has been playing this weekend without a couple people that were expected to play key roles. Peyton, you mentioned their names, Peyton Perkins and Madison Christ. So IU East, hasn't made any excuses. We haven't made any excuses about it, but when those folks get back, they're expected, hopefully they can, they're expected to play key roles and could definitely help the Red Wolves this year if they're able to get back on the court.
All right, well, it looks like Coach Niekamp is trying to hurry and get up here. While we're waiting on her, we can go ahead and take a quick break if you want to, or just give her time to get up here. We'll go ahead and take a quick break. We'll be right back with the post-game show right here on the IU East Red Wolves Sports Network.
I'm Dr. Ganesh Ramachandran, the region's only hand specialist at Reed Orthopedic Center. Patients love how easy it is having everything under one roof and how easy it is to get here. Right here at Reed Orthopedic Center, right here in Richmond.
This is where a busy mom can work toward a bachelor's degree from a top national university during softball practice. It's where a service member can continue his college studies from anywhere in the world, and where you'll benefit from one of the country's most effectively delivered online programs.
Woohoo!
So, if you've ever wondered if a college education is really worth it, this is where you'll see that it is. This is Indiana University East Online.
And welcome back to the IU East Volleyball post-game show. Joining me now is head coach Abby Niekamp. Coach, congratulations on a great win. What's it like to have that first win of the season?
It's great. We feel good. We put together a complete game that match, so we're pretty excited.
I know yesterday the talk on the bus was trying to bring more positive energy to the game. Do you think the girls did a good job of doing that today?
Yeah, absolutely. Our biggest thing yesterday was recovering from our mistakes. We have such a young team, and they kind of let those mistakes get to them and be a little bit bigger than they are. So today I think we recovered a lot better.
What are some of the things they need to work on during the St. Ambrose game coming up later this afternoon?
I think one of the things that we're going to focus on is our defense and our block, making sure we're set up as a complete unit versus working as individuals out there. So that's going to be our key for this next match.
All right, Coach, what do you know about St. Ambrose? Anything?
You know, other than what we've been seeing at this tournament, not too much, but everybody's been giving us a run for our money this weekend, so it's going to be another tough match.
All right, Coach, thanks for joining me. Congratulations on a great win. First win of the season for IU East, picking up a 3-0 win over Trinity Christian College with scores of 25-18, 25-16, and 25-21. The Red Wolves are scheduled to play at approximately 1:30, but like Kyle said earlier in our broadcast, don't be surprised if they do move that game time up a little bit. We'll keep you posted on Twitter and such at IUE Red Wolves and of course at IUERedWolves.com. So we look forward to seeing you for the scheduled 1:30 matchup against St. Ambrose. Red Wolves pick up their first win of the season, 3-0 over Trinity Christian College. Thanks to Kyle Wright from our broadcast engineer and commentary. I'm Caleb Gillock, the voice of your IU East Red Wolves. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you here in just a little bit.